Most people walk through life blind. They guess what others think, they assume, they speculate, but they rarely know the truth. Let me tell you something powerful. If you want to read someone's mind, you don't need magic, you don't need manipulation, and you don't need endless years of psychology. You only need courage and the right 5 questions. Because people will tell you exactly who they are if you know what to ask. The secret is not forcing answers. The secret is asking so strategically, so sharply, that the person exposes their true self without even realizing it. Each of these 5 questions is a key. Ask them sincerely, listen deeply, and you'll unlock the most guarded parts of a human mind. Let's go question by question. 1. What's most important to you right now? This is the ultimate question of values. It slices straight through the surface level small talk and drills into the core of a person's priorities. Because here's the truth. People live according to what they value most, whether they admit it or not. If someone says, "my family," you immediately know their anchor, their loyalty, their sense of duty. If they say, "my career," you see ambition, drive, and possibly sacrifice in other areas. If they say, "my peace," you see someone protecting their mental space. Here's the power. When you know what's important to someone, you know how they'll act, what decisions they'll make, and what they'll sacrifice. It's like reading their future without a crystal ball, because values are decision-making filters. Every yes, every no, every choice flows from what they consider important. So when you ask this, don't just hear the words. Look at what's missing. Look at what they didn't say. If someone never mentions relationships, you know connection is not a top priority. If someone never mentions growth, you know they might be stagnant. The answer reveals their map of the world. And once you see someone's map, you can navigate their mind. 2. What are you afraid of losing? Fear is a far greater driver than ambition. Ambition pulls people forward, but fear dictates where they stop, how they hesitate, and what they protect at all costs. Ask this question and you will see someone's weak spot. If they're afraid of losing money, you know greed or security governs them. If they're afraid of losing love, you know attachment rules them. If they're afraid of losing status, you know ego is at the center. Whatever they fear losing, that is their soft underbelly. Here's why this question is powerful. Fear is predictable. People will fight, lie, cheat, manipulate, or even betray themselves in order to avoid losing what they fear most. If you know what that is, you can anticipate their reactions long before they happen. And it's not just about power over others. It's about understanding. When you know someone's fear, you know how to comfort them, how to challenge them, and how to help them grow. Fear is a compass. It shows you what someone treasures most. So when you ask this question, notice their body language. Do they look down? Do they hesitate? Do they laugh nervously? That hesitation often reveals a truth they don't want to admit. That's where the real answer hides. 3. What does success look like for you? This question is not about surface-level dreams. It's about identity. People define themselves by their vision of success. Ask this, and you'll learn not just where they're going, but who they believe they must become to get there. Some will describe wealth. That means status, power, or freedom drives them. Others will describe peace, balance, or fulfillment. That means they crave stability. Some will describe recognition, fame, or legacy. That means they're chasing immortality through memory. But here's the real insight. People's definition of success reveals their self-worth. If their answer is shallow, they measure themselves shallowly. If their answer is deep, they've done inner work. And when you know how someone defines success, you know what motivates them, what breaks them, and what satisfies them. This question also unmasks illusions. If someone says, success is having everything perfect, you know they're trapped by perfectionism. If they say, success is constant progress, you know they're growth-oriented. And once you hear their definition, you can see how far they are from it, and how desperate they might be to close the gap. 4. Who do you admire most and why? Admiration is a mirror. People admire in others what they secretly want in themselves. Ask this question. And they're not just describing someone else, they're describing their own hidden blueprint. If they admire discipline, it's because they crave structure. If they admire courage, it's because they battle fear. If they admire intelligence, it's because they want respect. Their heroes are their subconscious goals. This question is gold because admiration bypasses defensiveness. People don't feel vulnerable when talking about others, but what they reveal is their own inner hunger. And if you listen carefully, you'll see exactly who they wish to become. Here's the hidden trick. People rarely admire what they already embody. They admire what they feel they lack. So admiration doesn't just show desire, it shows insecurity. If they admire generosity, it's because they feel selfish. If they admire strength, it's because they feel weak. You're reading between the lines. So when you ask this, listen twice, once to their words, and once to their projection. Their hero is their confession. 5. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be? This is the knockout question. Because here's the truth, behind every mask, every polished version of self, every highlight reel, there's an insecurity. This question uncovers it. When someone answers, they show you the raw truth they hide. If they say, "I wish I had more confidence," you know insecurity runs deep. If they say, "I wish I had more discipline," you know they struggle with consistency. If they say, "I wish I didn't care so much what people think," you know approval controls them. This is the most vulnerable question because it exposes shame. And when someone shares their shame, you are reading the most protected page of their story. That's not just reading their mind, that's reading their soul. But here's the warning. Handle this answer with care, because when someone shows you their flaw, they're showing you their wound. Don't exploit it, don't weaponize it. Understand it. That's how you build trust, connection, and influence. This question doesn't just reveal weakness, it reveals desire for growth. People admit what they want to change because they secretly dream of becoming better. And if you see that, you don't just read their mind, you glimpse their future self. Final words, 5 questions. That's all it takes. Not tricks, not manipulation, just bold, intentional listening. If you want to read someone's mind, stop guessing, ask, and when you do, don't just hear the answer, hear the meaning, the silence, the hesitation, the values, the fears, the dreams, the heroes, the wounds. Because the truth is, people are always telling you who they are. The only question is, are you paying attention?